Don't blink. It's your boy Ink. Welcome commercial. You guys doing well? Cause I'm having a wonderful day on this glorious, and I do mean glorious, 8th September 2025. Today we are gonna be doing a recap of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Guys, I've been loving the content. I started a couple of days ago, and you guys have been loving it. So I'm super grateful that you guys are loving it, and super motivated to continue. But before, a good cup. Always have some good coffee. So instant coffee, Nescafe. Today we have a couple of good episodes. I don't have the most episode because I said I was so busy. But we have the Christmas party, I think, and we meet Kevin. So I'm extremely excited about that. So without further ado, and of course your boy didn't bring something to make this coffee. The trick is you take this and you do like that. I'm gonna do it after. Because right now, I'm excited. I'm excited to do Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm gonna be honest, and this is gonna be like kind of sad. The quicker we finish with this, the quicker I get to watch the show. Now, of course, I know what you're saying. Ink, why didn't you open the computer? Ink, why are you always waiting last seconds? Because if Jake Peralta can be late, so can I. Okay, so it's not opening, so I'm gonna press pause. There you go. My computer. So the code is easy. It's B99. You wish it was B99. Go simple and clean is the way I can make it. Me feel tonight is all the guy. I wish this was planned, but it's not planned. Okay, I just went to sleep listening to Kingdom Hearts. I'm living a good life, aren't I? So we got the Vulture, which is good because this is exactly where we were. Again, finishing finishing. Oh, I'm sorry, I love this show. Finishing the recap yesterday on the whole episode of Amy and Jake being close, and her saying, "You're saying those nice things," and she was kind of teasing him, which is cool because Jake is always doing the teasing, and Amy's suffering. So, Amy, congrats on fighting back. Plus, we know that she has. Plus, we know that she has these brothers, so she should be used to getting teased. A folded coffee packet. The birthday party. The birthday party is one of my favorite, if not my favorite episode of the season 1. Why? Because we get to meet Kevin. Now, I'm gonna get so much hate for saying this, but it's my okay. I'm not sure. When I think about my favorite gay couple, I don't know if it's Captain Holt and Kevin, or Mickey and Ian. It used to be Cam and the princess of the Pritchett. Because yeah, it was the princess of the Pritchett. It wasn't Jay for sure. Coffee. Noise. Wait. You're the best, Jake. So yeah, so Kevin and Holt is by far my favorite couple. Can I be honest? The number of letter I thought about writing to get a spin-off of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is Holt and Kevin. Why do I like Kevin and Holt so much? Because they're weird. They're weird AF. So the reality is Holt is a very specific kind of guy, right? And at the same time, season 9 Holt is a very likable person. But season 1 Holt is kind of robotic, kind of non-personable, I guess. If you see me looking here, it's because I'm afraid I'm going to be dying here. So I'm multitasking. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. Because we're gangsters. We're Gina Linetti, school of, I was going to say school for thoughts, but that's Michael Scott. So with Kevin, when you do meet Kevin, you're like, okay, well, he's possibly going to be a super nice human being. He's possibly going to be the complete opposite of Kevin. And the reason Kevin... no, I'm so sorry. The reason Holt is thriving is going to be the opposite of Holt. And the opposite of Holt is the reason why Holt is thriving in this modern society. Because, again, Holt... I can only imagine... Holt Wait, I'm in a good mood today. I'm in a really good mood. So you're gonna see that I'm a bit aloof. I can only imagine Alt ordering in a restaurant. It's a good time. But then you meet Kevin, and the relationship is so awkward. So awkward. Affection. Shaking hands, which is amazing. Amazing. Just amazing. And to me, it's so pleasant. It's so pleasant. And again, I want to get some hate, but they're a gay couple. So again, Brooklyn and I being super open-minded, super avant-gardist. Now, and I mean this in the best ways. I they're not flamboyant. So I saw this movie yesterday, Lord of the Ring, right? And there's Owen, which is again, she's a woman, and back in the days or back in Lord of the Ring, women are not supposed to fight. So Eowyn's like, yo, I want to fight because I want to protect the people that I love, and she's been constantly told no, right? And then she kills the biggest bad guy in the show, and it's cool because this is, in my opinion, a move for feminism. She was a woman that ended up fighting and ended up doing a great deal for the good versus the evil. Old and Kevin are the perfect representation of, they're not too flamboyant, but they're still very comfortable in being gay. They're still very, like, you don't question the relationship. They have this weird chemistry. And why I love Old and Kevin so much is because they are a match made in heaven. The fact that Kevin is so old, and Old apparently is the is the fun guy in the relationship. So, I don't know, but it's such a good episode, and Kevin is a good dude. Kevin is a good dude. See, it's complex because you see Old completely evolving. You see Old completely changing. Would I be ready to say that Kevin changes as much? Yeah, it's complex because I think Kevin see Old change and is being supportive of his husband. The whole episode, again, spoiler, but the whole episode is how Kevin doesn't like the cops because they kind of stepped on Old because it was gay. They step on his relationship because it was gay. So the whole thing about it is he had this preconceived notion that cops aren't gonna be tolerating of Alt. And the best thing here is I don't think Kevin. I love Kevin. I love Kevin. My favorite episode in the whole show is when Jake takes care of Kevin and he has a safe house for Kevin. That's my favorite show. My favorite episode. I think Kevin, because Kevin is weird because later on you see what is his job. And he's like a professor in a university and he's really respected. Really, really respected. So even if he's gay, he's really respected. I think he doesn't like the cop because he is worried for Alt. And this show, when you read between the lines, is possibly one of the best show in the world. Although I would literally kill to watch Community again. If I could watch Community, I would do it. I would give up on every single show to watch Community because I just love that show. Coming back, I think Kevin is worried about Holt and being unaccepted and suffering because of his sexual preference. However, I do think, and this is cool because I do think that Holt is ready to suffer because he believes in the advancement of the cause. He wants more gay cops. He wants more people of color in the police force. He was part of the old guard and he was bullied for being black and being gay. So he wants more people to be able to do that, right? And literally a couple of episodes after, you realize that he organized a group of people. I don't remember the name of the group, but he's the president and founder of the gay cops, right, in New York City. So it means a lot to him. Alt is, in this one, a pioneer. It's a great thing. It's hard to say because you don't really know how old Alt is. Police. 99. You don't know how old it is, but I would be really ready to specify that Alt spent the majority of his career fighting, even only to get to captain, right? Anyway, I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry. Let's get to it, right? Kevin Costner is the name of Kevin, which is cool because he's also a actor. Kevin invites them, and then it's such a good episode. Like, cannot get to it, right? Gina laughing in the background. Jake is pissed off because it's like, oh, it's Kevin that invited us. It's not Holt. It's Holt. He didn't want us there, so it kind of soured. It's kind of soured the situation. But listen, they're gonna go, and it's cool because this is the first instance of Holt as a personality, and it's so nice. It is so nice. Good. So Jake has an idea of the cop story because, of course, Old has, and this is actually a really good initiative. This is actually a really good plan. Again, I don't remember this episode a lot because, listen, I watched it 2 days ago. It's such a good initiative because Old is a cop, but he wasn't part of the precinct. He wasn't part of the 9-9. So Kevin is possibly used to. This is so good. This is so good because the precinct, the 9-9, I get the impression that they're more willing to get Kevin to like them because Old is working with them, but they want Kevin to like them, right? And Old is possibly someone that says a lot of story about the cops. So Jake is like, yo, let's review cool cop story to say. And since Old wasn't part of the 9-9, this is a story that he possibly doesn't know. So that's kind of cool. Okay, that's super cool. Terry is holding a meeting to say, hey, this is the etiquette because, of course, they're kind of sophisticated, and he wants them to act properly. Terry is afraid that they're going to be trying so hard to please Kevin that they're going to be fucking it up. And then Hitchcock is like, yo, I met my wife in an orgy. So this is kind of super cool. Jake goes in to buy a nice bottle of wine, but then he doesn't have the budget, so he buys an $8 bottle of wine. And this is super cool because he brings it, and you realize the whole squad brought some wine, which is super cool. It's super cool. Super cool. This is super cool. This is so fucking cool. This is so cool because the devil in the details, right? So they go in and look at what Old says.
Welcome. The slacks are a knockout.
Wait. When he says, I hope you found my home easy to locate, right? It's such a weird thing to say. However, it's not weird because if you look at the episode of Amy Thanksgiving, what is the first thing he said to her? I found your home easy to locate. So for him, that's a great thing. And this is shown here that it's a great thing. So in a lot of ways, this is, for Old, the biggest compliment. And it's somewhat of a worry, I guess. Such a good episode. I have to watch them. I have to stop watching them a couple of days before. Kevin, that's my boy. Wine drink. Dude, it's so nice because Kevin already, and why this episode so good is Kevin seems kind of like a douche. He seemed like kind of like a douche. He's making fun of Jake. He's being a big douche. But then you realize why Kevin is a douche. And Kevin isn't a douche to the 9-9 because he wants to be a douche to the 9-9. Kevin is a douche because in the past cops were douche to him. So this is his way of saying like, oh, I don't trust you, but this is kind of vendetta. In vendetta, I'm gonna die a sad death, but not today, because today we prevail. So wine drink. This is super cool because again, it established Jake as a main character. It is established that everybody has brought the same bottle of wine. However, Jake is the one that Kevin makes fun of for the wine. So this is super cool. Talking about so they're talking about how in the relationship how Old is a funny guy, and the weirdest thing is people are agreeing with him. Guess what? This is Hermit, which is a character in Shameless. Yeah. Old being the funny guy is kind of cool, but also it allows us into their life, how it's completely different. And as a guy who not necessarily hides, but as a guy who doesn't share a lot from work, it's kind of cool to see that right now You can introduce it in one episode. You can introduce it in one episode and then just not mention it again. But Kevin, I think Kevin was so liked as a character that he came back often. It's really good, but I want more of Chester.
So Kevin, I hear you're a professor at Columbia? That's right. Yes, I had the classics store.
This is super cool. This is super cool because I don't know. I can't tell you. This is a big spoiler, but
Interesting. Classics. Zeppelin, Hendrix, Die Hard, Total Time,
this is so good. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Such a good show. Such a good show. Right? And it's nice because the whole squad is making an effort. The first thing that Boyles do is getting dirty. So because he's getting dirty, Terry give him a sweater. It's also important for Boyle because Boyle's gonna meet his girlfriend, which is Vivian, right? Gonna go foil Boyle move, but still, and it's kind of cool. They're making Terry is like, yo, this is not what we planned. He's making a huddle. Like, this is not what we planned. What are you guys doing? Are you guys even making an effort? And this is cool because the whole squad, and it's cool because how much they want to make a pleasing impression, but it's also cool because this instance of a squad is still there. You're a huddle, and the first thing the person that's in charge is Terry. So it's nice to see that the dynamics of work are still there. This is super cool. Talk about the strength. Super cool. Rose is gonna go to a professor that is into like strange thing and strange behavior, and she's gonna present Gina, and Gina's gonna be fascinating to him. Charles is knowledgeable on food, so he's got to focus on food. So you see, this is cool. This is a captain that knows his team. Hitchcock is a good singer, so he gets to sing. And it's funny because in the precincts, they're always telling him, don't sing. But here, they're asking him to sing. Jake mentioned reading an article, and a very good article that Kevin also loved. However, he says, Kevin says something, Jake to look interesting, say, oh, I disagree. And then Kevin asked him, are you pro-slavery? This was funny to me. This was really funny to me. It's just a great episode. Easily the best episode of the day. We meet Vivian and how she's kind of like a big deal, but she's in the food industry, so it's super cool. Amy goes in and she takes a picture of the cupboard. What is super cool is she said, oh my god, they're making the same hummus, and it's so fucking cool because she takes a picture and she say, oh, me and Old, we have such a similar taste in appliances. I'm constantly looking at the phone because the battery's gonna be low, and I'm not gonna have enough space, but it's okay. After this episode, wait. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 still to do. Okay, so I'm gonna need don't worry. For every single thing that goes wrong, we have something that goes right. Get my batteries, enjoy the sunset. The nature corn, I guess. So Terry goes in and tells Amy, don't you think it's a bit odd? Don't you think it's a bit of a peculiar behavior? Which it is. It's so funny because, you know who else did that in real life? Nikakado Wakado. He was canceled for it. But we love Amy. I'm telling you, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is such a good show, and the reason why it's such a good show is because of how much each character improves. You know, Amy becomes so much better. Old becomes so much better. Charles, well, he's Charles, and this is weird because Charles is the guy who, in my opinion, digressed the most. He is this very naive guy, but kind of endearing because he's so clumsy and is such a good spirit, right? And him evolving is actually him being more unsure of himself, becoming a father, becoming the whole Papa thing is one of my favorite thing ever, and his character goes in a positive way, and it's supposed to make him less funny because it is less funny. Apart from the scene where Pimento is hiding in the closet, I didn't really laugh at the new Charles. However, you're happy for him because this is a major improvement. Charles is able to be Charles and stop being Chuckles, you know, Chuck Bunny. So yeah, super weird. Terry is like, no picture and no notes until we go back. Again, Rosa presents. So this guy is yeah, abnormal psychology. He's an expert of that, and he's like, Rosa said, "Oh, freaks," and she presents Gina, and Gina goes in, and she's being an icon, a queen, and they're all huddled up against her. Well, not against her, sorry, around her, and it's super, super, super nice. Jake, whole plan is to find a copy of the New Yorker to read it because again, he put himself in a bad position, but it is super cool. It is super cool. We have a picture of Kevin, which is important because you see Kevin and Holt being young, and it's actually a sweet picture because they're a relationship, you know. And Holt is being decorated, which is really nice. This is so cool. This is so freaking cool. So Sully cried because Hitchcock is singing, and he says how it gets him every time. Kevin is pissed because he said, "Give me a sec." Yeah. There's a thing. There you go. So they're talking about human trafficking, right? And then Jake's like, "I don't think you understood the article." This is what I was saying. And Kevin's like, "Are you pro-slavery?" So this is super nice because Jake is putting himself into a place where he cannot back down. But guess what? It ends up. Look at this. Pretty good. They're all around Gina, and they're all taking notes because she's so bizarre. But at the same time, Gina's being Gina, and it's so amazing. It's so amazing. Choco Bunny is getting freaky, which good for my boy. Good for my boy. Terry is talking, and he's saying that Amy and Jake's are going up where is not supposed to be. So Terry goes in, and he's like, "What are you two doing? You're gonna ruin everything." Now this is the coolest scene. This is the coolest scene because I think it's episode 7. We established that Amy is allergic to dog. And with it, there is Chester. And Chester is a dog. Because Amy is allergic to the dog. And the dog, when you put a dog here, it's a cool thing because you're like, holy shit, you're going to be allergic to it. Deadly allergic to it. So this is also nice. Now we got a literal fight between Kevin and Holt. And it's so cool because Kevin is like, why did you invite your squad? It's like, we should have been to a restaurant. Why are we doing the party here? And then Holt is like, they're nice people. I like them. And you're the one that's not nice to them. You're the one that says, hey, no cough, sorry. You're the one that questioning Jake's about something he clearly doesn't know. So this was cool. This was really cool. And we have Chester with a classic badge. It's super nice. And when Holt said that they're good people, right? Amy is starting to sneeze because the dog is making her allergic, and then you realize that they're hiding in the closet, right? So Kevin didn't invite them, and Jake comes in and he tells, "I know why you don't like cops." See the picture, and the picture. What is important is there's a couple, which is Holt and Kevin, that are on the right, and everybody else is on the left. So they were. This is a proof that they were like judged for being a gay couple. So that's why he doesn't like cops. But the squad makes it up to them and puts a restaurant together, which is super cool because the person that's cooking is Charles. You got Hitchcock singing, which is super freaking nice. It's a really good episode. Really, really, really good episode. Episode season 1, episode 17. Full Boyle mode. So Boyle is in love with Vivian, and the whole episode is about how he's gonna be fucking up the relationship because he's too bold for her. Now this is a good episode because Jake is not the best bro. I gotta say, I love Jake, but he's not the best bro. Oh, 24 minutes. Oh, la, 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 la. We're working hard today. 54 minutes of making videos already. Jake is not the best bro, but in this one he's actually a really good bro. It's like, boy, we're gonna make her leave. It's like, nah, don't worry about it. We love Charles. This is a Charles focus episode. The whole squad loves Charles. They're proud of him. Like for example, Terry just said when this morning when she gave him the wrong name, he corrected her, and this is super nice because it shows that Charles is a man. That's the opening cutscene, right? Oh yeah, I love this. I love this. There's Charles. Now I will say this. Sadly, some of the cold opening, they're good. Sometimes they're more about the show. For example, this episode is the perfect intro to the show because it shows Charles being overconfident and kind of like a problem, right? So why this is why I don't really like this cold opening because like the opening is it's supposed to be a joke, right? It's supposed to be something that's light-hearted, and it's not. Charles, this is super cool. I'm sorry. This is such a good episode. Old comes in and does the briefing, right? Oh, sorry, Terry comes in and he does the briefing, and then Jake, being the best cops in the force, is supposed to do the debriefing, right? Michelle's like, no, I got this. And Gina, this is an important moment. Gina says, hey, are those new pants? It's like, yeah, they're low waist, but my eyes are up here. And people are laughing at Gina because that's a good one from Boyles. And Gina's like, I can't believe I was attracted to Boyles. The fun thing is, I don't remember if it's a relationship, but I know they fuck. So this is kind of insane. This is a foreshadowing. Good. So basically, it's a cab, and they're stealing some people. So this is actually pretty good because this is a full-on Jake and oh yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. Jake and Charles episode. We don't have a lot of them. I think we have like a couple, but I don't remember any of them. So there are not that many. This is the important moment. So this guy is also a black gay cops. Why is that important? Because you learn that Alt formed the wait a second, the ag. I didn't get it. Okay, get it? He said so fast. I cannot get it. Didn't get it. So yeah, he's opposing as a member. This is the first time that Old has a position, and Old says, "Okay, I want it." And this is cool because this is a big personality of Old, and it's more present in the later seasons. So, for example, versus there's this other one, this other Captain Cops, the lady, which Old really doesn't like. So it's like, okay, time to get rid of her. And Old is very competitive. My favorite Old joke is, I heard she's a pill popper. Pop, which makes you laugh. So this is the first instance of Old being kind of like a amazing character. Now I have to say this, I have to specify something. I thought, good morning. Oh, Anna. I gotta take from Anna. If you saw her, guys, out of my league, but fuck. Glasses for sizzles. For sizzle for sure. Okay, cool. That's good. That's really good. Okay, that's good. She's gorgeous. You boys have a little bit of a crush on her, you know? A man can hope. And in hope we find victory. And in victory we find life. In life we find hope. For some reason, I always thought Old took way more time to become the character we love. But I'm seeing okay. I'm seeing season 1 Old, and I'm like, why do I like this guy so much? And now that we thought about it, and now that we say it out loud, there's a big possibility. There's a big possibility that I like him that much because I know what's gonna come. I know what's coming next. I know how this is gonna end. I know that he's gonna be super funny, super cool. So maybe every single instance where I'm seeing a glimpse of that Alt, I'm hopeful. Maybe not. I don't know. Jake is like, yo, guess Jake. This is a really cool moment. Jake goes in, and he's like, guess what? You're going full Charles mode. And he's like, okay, well, I'm not. And so Jake tells them, like, cancel the date if you're not going in. And Charles isn't able to. And he goes in really quickly. And then we get flashback, which is really cool. We get flashback of Charles fucking up relationship because he's way too in love, way too fast. Why is that important? Why is that cool? It's important and cool in a situation where this will happen again. It's relevant to the story if the past is irrelevant. Okay. The past is relevant to the story if the future seems like the past. So I like that. I did like that. We got Captain Dan, Super Dan. And Super Dan is actually a really good character because he won't appear a lot. Super Dan is this guy who pretends like he's a vigilante, and he's pretend like blah 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 blah, and he's kind of like, okay, this is a bit weird, right? But he had information, so the girl, which is Rosa and Amy, make fun of him because they make fun of him. The guy refused to cooperate, but this is really cool because he has information. So then Hitchcock and Sully are on the case. Why is that really cool? Because this is more so a cops. It's okay. It's comic relief for sure, but it's more so a cop situation. You'll have guys like that. You'll have situation like that. And it's amazing that we get to see that. I wouldn't have had it, you know. There's a ton of vigilante, ton of it, right? One of the movies that I loved when I was younger was Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass saw a rise of vigilante, right? So it's really cool. They literally make fun of him, right? Literally make fun of him. They don't even listen to him. So it kind of sucks. And Terry's like, yo, you should listen to him, you know. Nice. Jake is again telling Charles you're crazy acting, and this is nuts because Jake is quite persistent, and every single time it shows that he cares about Charles. I'm gonna be sorry, but there's time where I don't feel like Jake cares about Charles. It's this very weird friendship, very weird friendship. That's so fucked up. That was actually so fucked up. So all talked about how his association is important to him, right? And you see, that's the thing with Alt. Was he the first black gay cops in New York? No, of course not. Was he the first to stand up for himself? Yes. And so this is also like, as a public, not, well, okay, it's not a public figure, it's a character. But the whole legacy of Alt, when you think about it, is arresting a guy called the Yo-Yo Bandit, arresting the guy that was doing swimming. No, I'm not saying that he was a bad cop, but his biggest legacy is the association. So, kind of cool. It's a cool legacy to leave behind. So we have Jake and Charles. Charles said, I'm really gonna help me. The fact that they're acting like a brother is so fucking cool. And Jake's like, don't worry, I got you, bro. I got you. Rosa and Amy understand that the guy, but then did have some information, and they shouldn't have made fun of him.
Thought I had a slam dunk on the first one.
Hi there. We'd like to go to the Times Square. We're brothers.
That's super nice. I love this. It's just so nice. So they're going to random cab, and it's cool because, how did I say this? The cab is kind of an excuse to be bros, right? Yes, we have an important mission, but it's time for me to be a bro, and it's just fun. It's just a lot of fun. Because you want more of that. See, this is episode 17, and the best friend never had a best friend moment. Well, they had a couple, but no. So then they go to a double date, right? And Jake, because Vivian is of a certain age, so Jake thinks that the person that she's gonna bring on the double date is gonna be of a certain age, but she's a hot young bachelorette. And because she's a hot young bachelorette, give me a sec, guys. This is the content creation life. I'm gonna upload some video that way for later on I don't have full phone because yesterday we did 12 hours and something minutes. I don't know the exact numbers, but I was dealing with problem the whole night. Oh, you don't have enough space. Oh, you don't have enough space. So what I try to do is I'm trying to get in front of it before it happens. What are you guys' favorite social media? Gotta say, it's possibly YouTube for me. Nature corn. Nice. There you go, as simple as that. Now this is what Mandarin people will call a big dick move. So we had this video of Nature Corn, which is basically filming the skyline because I live kind of high in the sky. We have a 50 minutes video. Which will take about 40 minutes to upload. So the next 40 minutes, I don't have to worry about uploading stuff. I don't have to worry about, oh, am I gonna be okay? Am I gonna have enough storage? Luckily for me, we upload quicker than we upload. No, I'm sorry. We can upload quicker than we film. So, my apologies. Doing this is kind of cool. She's a matchmaker in heaven for Made for Jake. She likes the same basketball team as he does. She likes Die Hard, which is super cool. And this is really, really fun. We got Chelsea. Gina. I don't know why I call it Chelsea. I think her real name is Chelsea though. Gina having a legit dance troupe for Ult. This is kind of insane because Ult hates it. And there's no way that Gina thought he was gonna like it. However, it shows how far Gina is willing to go for Ult. Like quite an endearing thing. See, in a weird way, Gina is the most normal with Ult. Her and Terry. So Jake sees Ult as a father figure, but also it's a weird thing. And Amy sees him as kind of like a person to worship, right? Gina treats him as an equal. And it's actually quite refreshing because I think that's what Ult is. See, that's the thing. We don't know much about Ult, but when he says, oh, I don't want to have a painting because I don't feel like I deserve it, it's also saying that I want to be treated as a normal person, right? There's no pictures of you guys. Why is there a picture of only me? You know? So then the kids told that Jake's like, I can't, bro. She's too hot. I gotta be a good wingman. So Charles like, what am I supposed to do? Said, see that after you have an emergency, which is super nice. Oh, this is such a nice moment. Gina says, hey, he's a good candidate, give him a chance. You didn't give me a chance. You should possibly give him a chance. And Ult is like, yeah, but I fought so hard. And here he says he didn't have to fight for the last 25 years. But yes, he didn't have to. But and this is kind of complex also because it's quite interesting. If Ult, so the second candidate is a gay black cops, right? It's quite interesting because if Holt didn't fight as hard as he fought, then maybe this guy would have to fight as hard as Ult fought. You understand? It's kind of when you think about it, it's kind of nice. So Ult, listen. Yeah. This is so good. This is so good. This is so good. Listen to this. It's such a shitty joke. Gina doesn't get it, but everybody else finds it. It's funny. And it's just super cool. You know why it's super cool? You know why it's super cool? Because Kevin in last episode said that Ult was the funniest guy. So in a weird parallel world, a world where we exist, Ult is a funny guy. Which is kind of cool. Super cool moments when Ult gives a chance to the guy. And he's still gonna be like super in there, right? It's still gonna be super there, so it's not a big pass of power. And it's a chance for the New Bloods to be the New Bloods. We had the coolest scene with Charles and Jake pepper spraying each other because they're fighting, and he drops the jewel because he went to a pawn shop. Charles was supposed to cancel this date with Vivian, and instead he bought a ring. So Jake's like, okay, well, you don't listen. You put the ring and the fryer. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Amy and Rosa are saying sorry. They listen to Super Dan. That is super cool. That is super cool. Amy gets a cool lesson from it. Like, we're supposed to help everybody else no matter what, which means that she dismissed Super Dan, but her job as a police officer was to listen to Super Dan, even if he looks a bit crazy, which is a kind of a good moment.
No, it isn't. You can't be with me every minute of every day. I'm in love with this woman, for real. So that's your phone. Come on, for robbery.
And they arrest the cab driver that was dangerous. Here, this is super nice. Charles is worried because he is right. Jake will not be around the whole time. So he's like, okay, well, I appreciate what you're doing, but it has to come from me. Jake feels bad about what he does, so what he does is he does and this is a really, really, really important scene, and it's so nice because Charles go full Charles, right? And Jake confiscated his cell phone. But then he received a 100 message from Vivian, who herself is going full Charles mode. So you know what? With her, it might be different. She might be the one for you. So Jake gave her back her phone, and he organized a date at the precincts with her and Vivian. So it's a super sweet move. And it's a classic Jake being a good bro, which we love. This is so nice. Episode 18, The Apartment. The Apartment is an episode where Jake, again, eternal child, didn't think about doing some payments, and his apartment building is now making condos, so he had to buy the condos in itself, and he needs $600,000. Of course, Jake waited till the last seconds and asked for cash, which is super funny. Not my favorite episode. The last episode was better. Oh my god, the cold open, one of the most legendary, right? So Jake is doing a job. Captain Old said, hey, good job. Make sure that you finish it correctly. And Jake says, okay, Captain Dad, no problem. So then he called him Captain Dad, and it's kind of funny. And then, this isn't the funniest part. The funniest part is the criminal says, I lied about not being there. I did do the crime, but I don't lie about you calling him Captain Dad. So this is kind of funny. This is really cool. And this is the weird parasocial relationship, but this is also important. This is also important because it shows the evolution. And this is a perfect cold opening. It's funny, it's awkward, it's Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and you show that their characters are getting close to each other, which we kind of want to see. We kind of want that. They're a good quality people. There's not one character in Brooklyn Nine-Nine that I don't like. I think this is why I prefer it to The Office. Because The Office, Gabe, I didn't care. I didn't care about California. I didn't care about... did I care about Ryan? I didn't care much about Ryan either. Yeah. But in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, they're all superstars. They're all freaking superstars, bro. You know what's insane? It's autumn. It's when the trees are really changing color, so that's actually pretty cool.
Oh, I just started the second season of media content. No spoilers. But these evaluations are already
Oh yeah, to talk about self-evaluation, which is how I improve, what is my biggest flaw, and it's a good thing. However, I wish it did more purpose than what it just does. So the end goal of this episode, well, this plot of self-evaluation is just Amy is having a hard time, but it's a good opportunity for all to mentor her. I would like to see more people, right? Phone is too hot. I said aha, hey, aha. Now the phone is still hot because we're uploading a video, which makes the phone hotter. Oh, before I go. Jake goes in. It's to ask for cash, not for the self-evaluation. And this is where we learn the plot of the episode, which is basically that he's going to be losing his apartment. He doesn't do anything. And he's trying to get to a sad story, trying to say that, oh, I had such a hard life. Please help me out. But it doesn't work. So this is kind of nice. Chelsea goes in, And this is also an important episode because you say that Chelsea and Jake were kind of close together. Now, this is a good thing, but it's a bad thing. Because it's a good thing because it proves, okay, so for example, right, Jake possibly grew up in Brooklyn. Charles possibly grew up in Brooklyn. Everybody possibly grew up in Brooklyn, right? So some of them were bound to know each other, right? Chelsea, it's not precise that she knew Jake. There's a couple of things. For example, she knew that Jake ain't riding. That's pretty much it, to be honest. The car, the story for the car, right? So this is important. I'm gonna die. We're at 344, so that's pretty good. And for the lap speed, it's not great. Lap speed and game speed. Game speed is gonna be 14 hours, which is tomorrow 5 in the morning. Okay. Yeah, there's a weekend crew. Specifically because they have to put in their self-evaluation, they're working so much. Rosa talks about how she hates her weekend buddy, which means that's the person that they share desk with. However, it's kind of cool because you get Charles, and Charles is a good dude, so Charles has the perfect relationship with his desk buddy. They leave each other presents. It's kind of sweet when you think about it. It's kind of sweet. Yeah. This is super sweet. This used to be Nana's place, which is the grandma, which is kind of important for Jake because again we know that he has a shitty life. But Gina says you're klutz. You bought 6 massaging chair. You're not doing so well, and this is cool because they're sharing a 40 of alcohol. Gina says there's no chance for you. You got 3 turntable. You got 6 massaging chair. You're indebted, right? However, this is also super nice because Gina does have a lot of money, and she's become the landlady of Jake. So it's an excuse for Jake not to. I'm gonna die. Am I gonna die? I don't know if I'm gonna die. Underground, I lay. Just give me a sec. We need to pay attention to this. Losing everything, I can see my eyes passing me by. Was it all too much, or just not enough? Wake me up. I'm living a nightmare. I will not die, I will survive. I will not die. So we died a horrible death. I want to see how much is the shockwave. It's 100,000. Yups. That's not possible right now. But what is the possibility? It's 61. I'm gonna do catch the wave. I'm gonna do interests. Nice. I'll wait here for you. I feel alive when you're beside me. I will not die. I'll wait here for you. The tower. Best tower defense game on the phones. Now we play 4 playthrough. So Gina becomes a landlord, and it's kind of cool because this is an evolution for Gina as a mogul or a icon. Old task Amy with giving him his biggest flaws, and Amy is full to the ground. She doesn't know what to answer. She's like, oh. And this is kind of cool because you kind of get that Amy's a perfectionist. So this is super nice. Rosa asks for revenge. Which with Boyles, which Boyles doesn't seem like the guy who's gonna plan the perfect revenge, but I guess that Rosa is desperate and everybody will be able to help, even if it's Charles. Jake and Gina goes to a lawn shark, which is kind of cool because the whole idea that you have to go to a lawn shark is actually quite meaningful. It proves how desperate Jake is. It proves that Jake has no conscience of how to save money because a loan shark will ask him for a lot more cash. But it also shows that Jake is kind of desperate, right? So you got enough money to get the down payment, which is $20,000. They prank him, and it's kind of cool because you learn that the Rosa desk buddy is going through a lot right now. He's going through a hell of a lot, and they're kind of asshole for messing with him, right? Which is super nice. Jake goes into the service. He goes into the meeting, plays the card of, listen, I'm the cops. I saved the lives, you know. But the guy doesn't care. It's like, no, we were told that you were told that you were doing. You were told that you were going to be evicted if you didn't pay. You didn't pay, so you know. Yeah. Amy comes in with a whole ass list of her biggest thing, looking for approval. And the thing is, this is exactly, and it's Jake that tells her. Jake tells her, "What do you care about what he thinks? You shouldn't care what you think." And then she figured out that her biggest flaw is she cared too much what people think of her, which is kind of relatable AF, but also a really cool scene. We're looking for a new apartment, and there's nothing for the price that he has, which is kind of crazy because Jake is really broke. Sully and Hitchcock goes together, which is kind of funny because, again, those two are inseparable. Gina offers to buy the house and say, "Hey." And Jake makes fun of her because it's like, yo, this is one of the moments where Jake makes a lot of sense. The character of Jake makes a lot of sense. He makes fun of Gina because she grew up, and he didn't. But he makes fun of her because they grew up in the same environment, and she succeeded, she thrived, and he didn't. So it's kind of weird in itself. Jake tells Amy, like I said, you shouldn't care about what he says, and it's just kind of cool.
Very cool. Gotta get along with the mom. Oh, we will. They make us so bad at the tail. See it.
Charles and Rosa, we want more shit like that. We want more scene like that. Charles used to have this big crush on Rosa. It didn't work out. We want more scene of what is going on. And even the next one is going to be weird because they have this wedding, which are the STD, which save the dates. STDs, save the dates. And Rosa is going to be like, why am I not invited? It's like, okay, well, things are a bit awkward, aren't they? And now Jake realized that he was stupid, but Gina was right, so he signed a deal. And they're good together. This is the funniest joke of the episode, and we're 29 seconds away from finishing it. So here it is.
I'm ready for my self-evaluation. So I asked Peralta what he thought my biggest flaw was, and he said, "Who cares what Holt thinks?"
That's not surprising. He's very disrespectful.
So he's not wrong. My biggest flaw is that
This is super cool. It's season 1, episode 19. So I have 19, oh my god. I have 19, I got 20, I got 21. Don't you know what? I only got 19 and 20. However, we have a little bit of a problem. This is a 52 minutes video. TikTok only allows an hour long. So I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to continue with 2021. Love you guys, please.